You are watching the Capital City Sports Network on SGTV.
Lately here in Columbia, the temperature's been on the rise, and on this beautiful Friday night, the intensity will be on the rise as well as South Carolina Lacrosse prepares for its first real test of the 2017 season. The Gamecocks are coming off 2 big blowout wins, but they'll need even more in the tank to take on this storied program in this matchup of the Garnet and Black against the team from Blacksburg. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bluff Road Field here in Columbia for tonight's presentation of SELC Lacrosse. The matchup features the visiting Virginia Tech Hokies taking on your South Carolina Gamecocks. Welcome outside, everybody, not in a broadcast booth, but we're here at Bluff Road. Brett Williams alongside Kyron Beale. Thanks so much for being with us here tonight on the Capital City Sports Network. South Carolina does come in 2-0. They have just rolled in their first 2 games, beating UNC Charlotte by a final score of 26-2, and then the University of Tennessee in a game out in Knoxville, 23-2. And Kyron, what I think was most impressive about South Carolina's offense is they're really spreading it around. 49 total goals, but the most any individual has is just 8.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. South Carolina's done a great job of spreading the ball around, working to make sure that everybody on their team has gotten touches and everyone is scoring points, and I believe that'll be their key to winning this game.
On Virginia Tech's side, however, the Hokies also have rolled in a couple of games, both in Nashville. They took down Ole Miss 9-3, and then Vanderbilt themselves 16-4. But really, it's all gone through 2 players. Offensively, Danny Riley, and in the face-off circle, Bogdan Drakovic.
Yeah, Bogdan Drakovic is huge for this team. He's won 83% of their face-offs, and possessions are going to be key to this game.
And so far, Virginia Tech also, again, one of the more storied programs in the SELC. They're 4-time conference champions, have won 3 of the last 5 years. They were the runner-ups a year ago, but overall a very solid team. Our third member of our broadcast team, Jack Taylor, is live with one of South Carolina's assistant coaches, Crawford Prezioso, as he talks about how the Gamecocks are trying to take their game to that next level. Take it away, Jack.
Oh, thanks, Brett. I'm here with Coach Prezioso as we're talking before the game starts. Now, Coach, what do you think has contributed to having such big score margins in the past 2 games?
Well, we've got a pretty deep team this year. We play 12 attackmen, which is kind of unheard of. You get 3 on the field at a time. Usually those guys don't come out too much, but we're pretty deep at the midfield and attack and on the defensive end. So we've been running fresh guys. The drop-off's not too far from the top guys to the, our bottom attack guys that are getting in. So we're pretty deep, which is really nice. But we'll find out, tonight when we come in a close game with Virginia Tech. So.
Yes, sir. And you've had 2 different goalies in the past 2 games, and both have played an equal amount of time. What are the factors do you think are conflicting you on whether or not to pick one goalie, or is it a 2-man job?
Well, it's a 2-man job right now because they're both so good. One's a lefty, one's a righty, so it throws a little different nuances at offense when you don't know much about either one of them, but both are very good. And, others, one's a lefty, one's a righty, so that kind of contributes to it.
And then Virginia Tech's leading goal scorer. What are you changing your defensive line or defensive plan in order to combat him and try to shut him down, or is it same old, same old?
Probably same old story, but we'll look at some stuff. They are definitely midfield driven, and I think they're top guy. He's a midfielder, so. We'll see. We'll definitely pull him, but maybe go double pull to the midfield where we're locking off the shorty or something like that with the attackman. But we'll see how the game plays out and see where we go from there. Really.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, back to you guys.
Appreciate it, Jack. So again, a matchup of 2 undefeated teams, both South Carolina and Virginia Tech come in at 2-0. Virginia Tech ranked 16th nationally in the most recent MCLA poll. South Carolina receiving votes, but still not a ranking quite yet. Should be a phenomenal matchup here tonight from Columbia. It's the Gamecocks and the Hokies in SELC Lacrosse when we come back right after this on the Capital City Sports Network. Welcome back to Bluff Road Field, everybody. Brett Williams and Kyron Beale here with you on the Capital City Sports Network. Thanks so much for being with us as the team's getting ready to face off here. The South Carolina Gamecocks and the Virginia Tech Hokies in the 3rd game of the season for both teams. Both teams coming in at 2-0 with 2 easy wins thus far. This is a matchup between South Carolina in the Northeast Division of the SELC D1. Virginia Tech coming from the Northwest Division. South Carolina tied with NC State and Elon right now in the early season standings at 2-0. Clemson at 3-1. And right now at the basement, East Carolina 0-2. East Carolina is here as well, and both of these teams will play against the Pirates in Columbia over the next 2 days. Teams breaking out in time for the first face-off of the game. As you mentioned earlier, Kyron, going to be key to see how this one goes throughout the game. A battle of Bogdan Dragovic for the Hokies and Greg Helfrich for the Gamecocks. Gamecocks coming out in the home whites. They'll be going right to left on your screen. Virginia Tech in the maroon will go left to right. And we are underway here in Columbia. Gamecocks and Hokies here tonight. And first ground ball will be controlled here by Virginia Tech.
I think the possession game is going to be huge here, Brett, with Dragovich winning 83% of his faceoffs. It's something you're really going to have to look forward for the South Carolina team. They're going to have great wing play to get those ground balls and get offensive possessions.
And Virginia Tech indeed controlled that first faceoff, and here they are setting up their offense for the first time. Vion Kotzer with it here. Sends it on across. Taken here by Michael Armour. Right back up top running the point here. This is Gerard Martriano here. Now over to Kotzer near side, working his way in. Gets a little bit pressure, now goes behind the net. Virginia Tech working the perimeter here. And back up to the top. Ground ball is loose here. Good check here from a Gamecock, but it's taken up and hustling in is Martriano. Feeds it off, quick shot comes and it goes well wide and out of play. Who's closest to the ball? And it will be a Hokie, so Virginia Tech will keep possession. Trying to come up from behind here, loose in front, still loose underneath. A couple of players from both teams fighting for it. The Gamecocks will have the ground ball and moving the other way. Hustling on across center very quickly. Sending in, quick shot from the Gamecocks and they score!
And that's a great play right there, Brett. You got to look at Russell Couture making the perfect cut and just having an easy finish on the inside.
Coulter indeed. Check out, I believe that was Graham Lorber who ended up finishing it inside. Lorber actually the team leader in goals now with 8 on the season. Coulter though right behind with 5, also second in assists with 3 on the season. But Lorber finishes right there, and the Gamecocks, nice job controlling it, cutting it across center, and found Lorber for the open net. Just a minute and 34 seconds into this one. South Carolina leads Virginia Tech 1-0. Good way to start for the home fans. Helfrich fighting here, and a whistle comes.
That's an illegal procedure right there. Looks like it's going up against the Gamecocks. It'll be Virginia Tech ball. Guess they started a little bit early after that as well. But now we're back in play. Here come the Hokies. Once again working the perimeter on the far side with it. Here's Ryan Cleary. Sends it back up top. This is Vion Kotzer once again. Sends it onto the right side. Martriano now back over to Kotzer. On down they go. Taken here by Cleary. Continuing to work it around on the near side now. Tim Nordbrook. Back around to the back. Getting a touch, Ryan Whalen. Kotzer at the top. Sends it on across to Martriano once more. Martriano looking to make a drive. Pushed out to his right. Now finds it down low. That was Nordbrook. Now coming in, trying to get a shot away, and kind of a little bit got a hook on it. As Matthew Paquin providing some nice pressure from South Carolina, and the Gamecocks will take it back over once more. I think South Carolina did a great job defensively there. They kept it packed in tight. They let Virginia Tech work the ball around, but they never really threatened there on that offensive possession. And I think as long as the Gamecocks can keep that up this half and for the rest of the game, I think they can come out with this win.
South Carolina will have their offense really setting up for the first time here after that first goal scored on the breakaway. Really has been nice from a defensive standpoint for the Gamecocks to keep Virginia Tech from really attacking inside.
The Gamecocks are sitting here working the ball around. Looks like they're trying to set something up, but right now Virginia Tech is just playing great defense.
Looks like the Hokies going to be able to break out here. No check that, South Carolina from behind, still with possession here. Up top with it here, James Petrus. Sends it over to his right, Andrew Dalbora. Now working it toward the top. Well, fires around side and he scores! 2-0 Gamecocks. This time it's Coulter. 2-0.
And Coulter there with a great split dodge from right to left. Put it on the goalie's opposite hip, which is the worst spot for a goalie to try and save that ball. It can't be more picture perfect than that.
Coulter now makes it 6 goals on the season, just 2 behind his teammate Lorber. Time of that goal coming at 3:31, just about 2 minutes after the last one. An early 2-0 lead for the host Gamecocks. Once again, Helfrich versus Dragovic here.
On that last face-off, Helfrich did a really good job tying up Dragovic, and I think that's what he's going to need to do here again to win this face-off.
Dragovic gets the better of him that time and hustles forward here. Spins back around to his left. Now kicks it over. Hokies will set up and checked away. Good pressure there by the Gamecocks. They win the ground ball here, and Carolina will try to get out of the zone. Getting a little bit of separation now. And the Gamecocks do cross the center line. Hustling quickly in here, had it for a moment to Will Lansinger. On behind for South Carolina, now brought back up. Here's Coulter near side. Back up top to Lansinger. Swings it around here. John Bell's got a touch on it.
South Carolina is being very patient on offense here in this opening quarter. I believe they're going to try and set up all their plays in the 6-on-6, knowing that's their best bet.
Bell sends it on behind once more to Lorber. Now kicks it to his left. Grant Schneider with it. Schneider the leading assist. Gamecock coming in tonight with 5 on the season. Lansinger here slides off to his right. Now plays it up, a little lob picked up by Bells. Sends it down. Coulter back up top to Bells. Now on across. Lansinger off the top of his stick. Goes toward the sideline. It's going to make the sideline. And a turnover here for Carolina will get the ball right back to Vatech.
Yeah, Virginia did a really good job there, keeping it packed in. They didn't let the Gamecocks really threaten on the inside. They did lots of cutters, did great communication on the Virginia Tech end, just keeping their defense in shape and making sure the Gamecocks could not come in.
Brian Cooper way out of the cage here for Virginia Tech, one of their senior leaders. Has gotten most of the playing time thus far this year, 21 saves. Only 6 goals allowed. Controlling it here is Vion Kotzer once more. Couple of substitutions now, hustling forward with it here. Martriano sends it on down. Lost behind by Virginia Tech. That one's going to go out of bounds, and the Hokies turn it right back over to South Carolina. Here come the Gamecocks, hustling across center. Lansinger with it. Comes toward the box, now feeds it over to Coulter left side. Gamecocks controlling, coming up, Lorber. There's Corey Oveen with it. Sends it on to the far side, Alex Wenzel. Up top trying to make a move. John Bell's with it here, feeds Lorber on the side of the crease, fires it inside, and Cooper with a great save at crossbar level.
I think the Gamecocks did a good job there. I think they got the shot they wanted, and Coulter just couldn't put it in the back of the net.
Getting a report from the sideline, Gamecocks head coach James Harkey saying they are firing on all cylinders. It is electric on the sideline, so we're told. You can hear it all the way across here.
And I think the crowd showed up here tonight, and I think they're expecting a great shootout, and I'm hoping so too.
Certainly the first premier game on South Carolina's schedule. Did play at Tennessee last week. They had UNC Charlotte here a couple weeks ago in the opener. Fans loving it on a Friday night, a beautiful Friday night here in Columbia. Couldn't be any better weather. Also getting a chance to watch South Carolina women's rugby on the field right behind us. A little 2-for-1 action. Try to clear it all across. End up missing on that pass. South Carolina will take it right back over here. So a couple of turnovers for Virginia Tech hurting the Hokies here early.
Yeah, I think that's a great check by Wenzel. He really got his stick on the hands of that Virginia Tech attackman. He's forcing that bad pass there, and this South Carolina defense is looking dangerous.
So has the offense looked pretty dangerous thus far. Lansinger makes his way around one. Hokie absorbs a check, trying to control it right in, almost up to the crease. Eventually will be stopped.
And that'll be a push. The ball will go back to South Carolina here.
Be controlled up top here by James Petrus. I'll slow it down for a moment here. Just about halfway done in the first quarter, 7.5 minutes to play. 2-0 Gamecocks over the Hokies. Gamecocks hustling in here, making one man miss, making two man miss, fires underneath and scores. John Henneberry with this one. The Gamecocks have come up ready to play against the number 16 Hokies. They lead at 3-0.
Yeah, John Henneberry there did a great job. He came in out of the substitution box. They were able to find him immediately. He just made a nice little roll dodge and was able to stick it in the top of the net.
Time of that goal, 7:42. And as we said, South Carolina received 4 votes in the MCLA Top 25 rankings. Didn't quite crack the rankings, but gotta love what you're seeing right now from South Carolina if you're a Gamecock fan. The way they've showed up against the Hokies here tonight. This face-off, Helfrich's controlled it for a moment, but it's still loose. And eventually the Gamecocks will win it here.
Thomas Sears with that ground ball, and that's what I was saying earlier, Brett. You're going to need the wing players for South Carolina to come up and do a big job if they plan on getting offensive possessions.
Pass got away from one of the Gamecocks there, but it's picked up right in front of us here by Delbora. Coulter with it now. Gamecocks have been very methodical in their perimeter offense, have attacked at the right times, and it's allowed them to finish. Henneberry, the recent goal scorer, with it now, sends it on behind. Coulter now. Up top here to Petrus. Makes one man miss. Petrus hustling inside now pushed out. On behind. Lost here and eventually rattled in there. Petrus sends it over. Henneberry drops it, picks it right back up. Slides back toward the top. Check that, and it's Grant Schneider with it now. Schneider sends it on behind. Gamecocks trying to work out from behind the net. Turnaround shot, it went well wide to the left side. But one of the Gamecocks looked like that was Lorber back behind. It was ended up there and kept the ball for the Gamecocks.
Russell tried to come around the 5-and-5, the island as they call it in the lacrosse world, and just put that shot left. Never really had a chance of troubling the goalkeeper, but it'll keep the shot clock down.
Part of the cross just flat broken in the hand right now of Petrus. And he was trying to go just holding the very top of the netting there and trying to just go right toward the crease. You ever seen that happen before?
I have not. I think this ball is going to go back to Virginia Tech. He can't play with an illegal stick. They're going to throw the half of the stick that broke to the sideline, and he's going to have to run back and grab another.
Well, you improvise when you have to. Petrus wanted to take that one right into the score. Evidently could not.
And looking now, Coulter just broke his stick as well.
Oh, my goodness. Got to find a different manufacturer or something. Hokies controlling it here. This is Tim Nordbrook. On behind, sends it over his teammate, far corner of the field. Getting a little bit of inside leverage here and hustling toward the crease. For a moment there was Sullivan Warner. He was pushed back aside. Now trying to work from behind. A little bit more energy coming from the Hokies. Tried to center it and went all the way through. Looking to control it, Ryan Cleary. He can't, but the ground ball still grabbed by the Hokies. This one here, Ian Cleary. Little brother act coming from Owings, Maryland, Northern High School.
That'll be the award by Virginia Tech. Ball will go to the South Carolina Gamecocks, and they'll look to clear here.
Evidently got a piece of his hand on the defender's stick there. And a referee calls a timeout to deal with that broken stick around the center of the field. We'll take this opportunity to let you know, of course, some of you that have followed our work on the CCSN, we have been the voices of Gamecock hockey for quite some time. And the hockey team right now playing in the first round of the ACHA D3 South Regional Tournament against USF down in Tampa. That score is 0-0. Early third period, I believe. We will keep you posted on that. A low-scoring affair, not what you'd expect between the Bulls and the Gamecocks, but should be a great one. Right now, the way the bracket sets up, the Gamecocks would play the winner of UNC Wilmington and Liberty for a berth in the national tournament if they can get through USF. We'll keep you posted. Virginia Tech on through center, massive check there. Virginia Tech wanted a foul call. I think they're going to say that was unavoidable. And South Carolina gets out unscathed. They keep the ball here. Virginia Tech's bench still signaling for a foul. They didn't get the call.
And that's a great hit by Will Lassinger. He's putting in the defensive work, and he's also putting in work on the offensive end. But that check right there is what coaches love, the intensity that we just saw on the field from both teams, trying to get possessions for their team and trying to get their offenses going.
That's exactly the way South Carolina needed to come out tonight. They are not afraid of Virginia Tech, and it's showing right now. 3:49 to go here in the first quarter, 3-0 Gamecocks. South Carolina looking for more here, trying to work from behind. Putting on the Jets here, trying to turn around and center it was Lansinger, and it went wide. Ground ball almost grabbed by the Hokies, now kicked aside. Hustling forward here and picking it up for Virginia Tech is Kyle Grope.
And Grope's still going here.
He is. Goes right toward the crease, but an easy stop for the Gamecocks in net. And South Carolina trying to counter very quickly, moving it forward with it here. This is Alex Wenzel. Wenzel checked aside by the Hokies. Very good defense right there at the top of the box. And so South Carolina will have to reset along the perimeter. That is Colin Haynes in goal for the Gamecocks. He's been splitting time with Colby Hogan. Haynes a sophomore, Hogan a junior. Right up in front, but couldn't control it. Had a great centering pass, didn't quite work.
And that pass really should have been caught. It deflected off the South Carolina player's stick. I believe that was number 30, Graham Lorber. And normally that's something he'll catch inside and finish.
Has been prone to doing that indeed this year. Jack Taylor telling us from the sideline, Coach Harkey calling for more and more ball movement here.
And Virginia Tech really has to get their offense going here. I know it's early in this game, and each team could go on a run either way, but they're looking unsettled here in Columbia, and that Gamecock defense is just playing lights out right now. You look for them to settle this ball down right here and do something with it.
Coates are trying to do something with this here as he tries to get his way in, forced aside by a few Gamecock defenders. John Bell's leading that defense. Now the quick shot here coming from Virginia Tech. He missed wide to the right. Hokies were there. They will keep control. Shot came from Danny Riley, the big goal scorer for Virginia Tech. He has 10 this season.
And Danny Riley did a great job there. Stepped in from 10 yards and got a great shot on cage. Just luckily, Colin Haynes got a small piece of it.
Riley will bring it out here. Feeds it up to Ryan Cleary.
Virginia Tech's looking to set something up here.
There's Coates, top right. Sends it over near side right, back up top to Coates. Fakes left, now goes to the right for a moment, now fires it back to the left. Working their way around. This is Ryan Cleary once more, back up top to Riley, now on across Coates.
It looks like South Carolina is running a zone defense right now, Brett. And that zone is probably what's causing all those problems for Virginia Tech.
Now on across, good open opportunity, but got a piece of it. The Gamecocks, I believe that was Matthew Weigel.
Great check there, great check.
And a flag is going to come up here. Virginia Tech likes it. South Carolina's bench did not. And it should be the first time we'll see a man-up situation in favor of the Hokies. Well, the Gamecocks took down a Hokie. Almost slide tackle style, it appeared from here, way behind the net.
That's going to be a 1-minute penalty. It looks like they called a cross check. And I believe that penalty is going to be on number 8, Ryan Vallon for the Gamecocks.
Good catch there. So here's man up for Virginia Tech. Certainly a time for the Hokies to try to get back in this game. Playing it on down for a moment, now taking it behind. This is Tim Nordbrook. On up top, Danny Riley with it here. On across, had it for a moment to Sullivan Warner.
Let me apologize on that last call. It's unnecessary roughness on number 9, Corey Yovine.
On around here, back up top to Danny Riley. Riley tries to send it inside, right from behind, trying to go right back up top, and they fire and score. With it is Vion Coates. He'd been running the point most of the night, now comes in, a good pass from behind. Virginia Tech's on the board.
Yeah, that's a great feed from Riley to Coates, and he just had all sorts of time to catch that and finish inside. I blame that on the man-down opportunity for South Carolina, but the goalie did all he could there, and that's just a great shot by Coates, putting it nice and low.
The goal comes with just 49 seconds left in the first quarter. Certainly something Virginia Tech needed to get a little bit of momentum moving forward as we get ready for the next face-off and battle between Helfrich and Dragovic.
Oh, and Helfrich wins that one easily.
But it's still loose here at center. Big body check provided there by Dragovic. Doing a little bit of overtime work here. Now another flag is thrown. This should put the Gamecocks on the man up. .34 seconds left in the first quarter, so this penalty, if it is a 1-minute penalty, I believe that's another cross-check being called here. Well, at least the first one was not a cross-check, as we figured it.
Yeah, that's going to be a cross-check. This will give South Carolina a man-up opportunity, and look for them to look inside to Russell Coulter after about 30 seconds in this possession. That's their big man-up guy, or Graham Lorber from the outside to stick it.
Is indeed the 1 minute here, so South Carolina, they only have 34 seconds left until the whistle blows at the end of the first quarter. So they'll try to convert right now. Hokies whole sideline, you can hear them. They're just almost like a student section on defense in college basketball, trying to distract the Gamecocks here, are working it very quickly around the perimeter. 14 seconds left in a quarter. When will the Gamecocks move toward net? A pass that goes over the head and stick of Russell Coulter, and the Virginia Tech Hokies will take back control. That should do it here for the first quarter after 7 more seconds, and certainly do it for the Gamecocks man-up opportunity.
Yeah, I really like the ball movement there. They got a great opportunity with Lorber passing down to Coulter. Coulter just wasn't able to reel it in.
And that will do it for the first quarter at the end of one. South Carolina leads Virginia Tech 3-1. Man-up opportunity still for the Gamecocks, but the Hokies will have possession when we come back. You are listening to SELC Lacrosse from Bluff Road Field on the Capital City Sports Network. Welcome back to Bluff Road Field, everybody. We are underway in the second quarter here between your Gamecocks and the Virginia Tech Hokies. Score right now, South Carolina leads it 3-1. And Virginia Tech now coming on across center field line now as they control here, and that should do it for the man up for South Carolina after a failed pass. Ended up turning the ball over, and the Hokies have controlled it ever since. And we're going to go ahead and send it to our sideline reporter with a little report on what he's hearing across the field, and that's Jack Taylor. What you got, Jack?
Thanks, Brett. Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Brett. I'm here on the sideline, and I'm just hearing some things from the coaches. It seems that he wants the team to keep firing all cylinders to keep the score going. And he likes the ball movement on the offensive side, and he thinks they need to be more defensive and they need to lock down faster on defense. Other than that, he says to keep the ball rolling, to keep it on their side of the field, and to just keep firing on all cylinders on offense. That's all I'm hearing over here at the sideline. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Appreciate it, Jack. Yeah, certainly everything we've expected in terms of South Carolina being very happy with what they've seen here in the first and just the first 20 seconds here of the second quarter. Just got to keep firing on all cylinders, and the rest will take care of itself. But Virginia Tech here, after spotting the Gamecocks 3 goals, Hokies have the momentum on their side, having gotten one back, and now with controlling it here early in the second quarter.
I really expect Virginia Tech to do something here. I mean, they've come out a little bit slow, but look for Graham Riley to do something right here.
Up top now, swung across here for a moment. Here's Vion Coates. Check the side. Coates, the goal scorer tonight for Virginia Tech, sends it back up top. This is Danny Riley, makes a move around. One of the Gamecocks fires, kind of a tough shot. Getting a piece of it with the top of his cross was Colin Haynes in net. And a nice stop there.
That's a great save by Colin Haynes. I don't think he saw it until the last second. It almost sounded like it went off his helmet there, Brett. Here's
Coates now. Works his way off to the right, now sends it back, centering pass to Riley. Pass misses, but it's recovered by Ian Quinn. Ian Quinn, a returner from last year, was on the All-SELC first team for the Hokies a year ago. On from behind, now comes up, quick firing shot, wide and high. Who's closest to it? South Carolina is, and the Gamecocks take it over here. No, they're going to have a change of call from the back judge. Fans not happy. From our angle, it did appear that one of the Gamecocks behind, I believe that was Haynes out of the crease, was closest to it. But the back judge had other ideas on the near side from one of the other Hokies.
Virginia Tech's offense so far has run through Coates up top. He's been their main initiator. You have to look for him to do something and get this offense started.
And another missed pass here. This time South Carolina will take it back over. A lot of South Carolina fans on both sides of the field. Huge check there. That's going to be a Ward charged against South Carolina, so Virginia Tech takes back over. And a lot of South Carolina fans not happy with that call. happened right in front of us. It did appear that the Gamecocks got a grip on the stick there, so I think it is the right call. The fans had other ideas, though. Now centering up top, wide open, and the Hokies cash in. Goal comes from Sullivan Warner, and it's 3-2.
On that one there, Sullivan Warner did a great job getting in. He took that first shot, sent it a little bit wide, but cut and followed through on the next time and was able to get a quick pass back for an easy give and go.
Warner out of Loudoun Valley High School in Purcellville, Virginia. Not all that far from my home in Annandale. Hearing from the sideline, Jack Taylor saying that Coach James Harkey on the Gamecock side preaching to get the ball in the air and try to keep control for the Gamecocks.
This will be a big face-off here. If Virginia Tech can win this and tie this game up, it'll really change the momentum.
And Dragovic came in 26 for 31 on face-off so far this year. It's been about even tonight. Still loose. Both teams trying to control this one.
That'll be a loose ball push there, Virginia Tech ball.
So the Hokies do eventually come away with it here. A lot of momentum on the side of the maroon and orange. Pass is dropped off the top of the stick there, and the Hokies will turn it right back over. Gamecocks trying to break out the other way, hustling on forward now. Feeding his way through one of the checks and then keeps on with it.
Great swim move there. Great swim move.
On around here now with it is Noah St. John. On behind, Max Robert now swings it back up top. I believe that's Griffin Giles with it. Now they send it on over, now back up top. Here's Ryan Vallon. Over to Giles. Slides to his right, now works his way back to the left. Hard couple of stick checks here from Virginia Tech, but Giles gets it out. And a quick save by Brian Cooper.
Brett, I'm not a huge fan of that shot. Giles got a little bit excited there. Tried to put it high to high, go for the fancy top cheese shot. And that's just an easy save for the goalie stick side.
The Gamecocks take it right back. I believe another warding call was issued on the far side. But there will be another referee discussion here. And they will discuss and change the call right back to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech trying to go 1-on-2 here. And very nice move on across center by Danny Riley. Flag is issued
Flag
from behind.
down. That's probably going to be an offsides here on Graham Lorber. It is. Graham Lorber's just going to go and run into the defensive area.
Let's go, Dick.
All right, Dickie.
So taking it right here on behind, or up in front rather. This is Vion Kotzer.
With the flag down, I don't see why South Carolina is not just double teaming here.
Shot fired high and missed high by Ian Quinn. As you might expect by this point, we're hearing from both sidelines of both teams frustrated with the referee so far. Have been a couple of calls changed back and forth after some conversation.
Yeah, the referees are really kind of unsure on what they're calling here so far. It's been a couple discussions and it's changed which way the ball's gone. Is it going to be South Carolina ball? Is it going to be Virginia Tech ball? We haven't really been too sure so far in this first half, but we're hoping that cleans up.
Virginia Tech will have it here, trailing 3-2, 10:56 to go in the second quarter. Danny Riley swings it up top to Kotzer. Kotzer drifts in, thought about a shot, then instead went off to the right side and found Sullivan Warner there. Now back up top to Riley, thought about it also, sent it over to Kotzer. Whistle, I believe, came from the rugby field. Quick shot comes in and a quick save by Colin Haynes, getting his stick down, scooping it off the dirt and sending it out the other way.
Colin Haynes made a great save there. Riley tried to surprise him with the bounce shot, and he was able to get low and stop that and suffocate it and get a quick outlet so the Gamecocks can get back on offense.
Haynes has done a nice job of getting his stick to the ball at the right time and the right place so far tonight. Good vision on the goal. South Carolina controlling it behind now. Bringing it on up here for a moment, now getting pressed aside. Fans wanted a foul call, weren't going to get one.
I'm fine with that there, Brett. I think that's a clean hit. It's from the side. South Carolina fans are just trying to get a call here.
That they are. Here comes Henneberry, quick shot and just missed low and to the right of Cooper. Gamecocks had a man there. They will keep possession. Henneberry already with 1 goal tonight. Lorber and Coulter have the other 2 for South Carolina. It's Warner and Coates are with the 2 goals for Virginia Tech. Hustling inside for the Gamecocks. Andrew Dalbora plays it inside. The Gamecocks score.
And that's a great feed there by Andrew Dalbora. He pushed the alley, found a cutting Wade Dickey right there in the middle, and that's an easy shot right there for Wade Dickey. When you're 5 yards outside the keeper with no one in front of you, you better put that one away.
Time of that goal, 5:21. And the Gamecocks get a little bit of a cushion back after allowing 2 straight goals to Virginia Tech. I can tell you one thing, the way the fans have turned out tonight, I'm feeling like it's back. I'm feeling like we're back at the Plex in Irmo or something, because the fans have turned out en masse here tonight. It is a beautiful thing to see if you're a college sports fan at all. Tons of Gamecock students here lining the field to our right side. A lot of parents as well. They are loving what they are seeing here as the Gamecocks get back to a 2-goal advantage.
And this is exactly what we expected to see out of the Gamecocks in Virginia Tech. They're scrapping in there for those loose balls.
A lot of contact there. Everybody hits the deck. Hokies, I believe that one was last touched by South Carolina, so the Hokies will have it here. Nice move to the left side. Very nice move up the field by Jackson Soul. Taken back near side here. This is Ian Cleary.
Virginia Tech's going to look to settle this here. Right now, you're going to have to go from up top. That's where most of their offense has been generated from, and I believe that's what they're going to have to stick with to find goals in this matchup.
Virginia Tech now controlling it at the point here. There's Chris Lansford. Lansford here once again at the point. Off to his right side, now sends it back up top. Gerard Martriano with it. Moves on to his left, feeds it on down. Now back on around.
Great split dodge there. Ooh. And that one's put just to the right of Colin Haynes. He should have finished there. Tried to go high to low and just couldn't get it on cage.
Tim Nordbrook working his way up from behind, tries a turning around shot and sends it well high. Over there very easily was Ian Cleary for the Hokies. He keeps it.
And I think Frank Fiorino got a great check right there, making him put that shot high.
Keeping it here now, Ryan Cleary. And back up top now, this is Chris Lansford once more.
Lansford's looking for a pick here, so watch this.
That's one of those subtle picks you can get away with, right?
Exactly. I would have liked to see him cut off of that pick right there and pop open for a pass, but Virginia Tech's going to run the offense how they like.
With it here, Martriano slides to his left now. A couple of stick checks from the Gamecocks, a little bounce shot. Haynes may have gotten a piece of that. Now chasing after, I believe the Gamecocks, well, thought the Gamecocks were closer to it, evidently not.
And good hustle by both sides there. Virginia Tech ends up getting that ball, but you love the intensity that both teams have come out with, and it's just making it a fantastic game to watch.
From behind here is Lansford. Check that, Sullivan Warner. Working it up now, up top, quick shot, and stopped by a couple of sticks in front for the Gamecocks. A few long poles got their way into the passing lane there.
And that's a great deflection by that Gamecock defense. Coaches are always going to tell you to keep your sticks up and in the passing lane, and there they were able to get a deflection.
Violation against Virginia Tech gives the ball right back to South Carolina. Colin Haynes will control out of the crease. No pressure provided here by Virginia Tech, at least not yet. And the Gamecocks send it across center. On down here, now South Carolina turning on the Jets on a cross, but couldn't be controlled. Might have had a chance for a one-timer on the far side.
Gamecocks are going yellow here, Brett, so they're going to try and get their subs in and their offensive personnel.
Petrus with it here, indeed slowing it down. Well, let's see when those substitutions come. John Henneberry with it here at the point. Henneberry off to his left. Pressure provided there. Now on the near side, controlled by the Gamecocks. Up top once more to Petrus. Slides it on to his left, Henneberry. John Henneberry here. Slides his way through one Hokie.
That's a timeout by that South Carolina team there, Brett. Probably smart, seeing the way that possession was going.
Yeah, certainly Virginia Tech seemed to be doing a nice job at preventing South Carolina from getting inside anything they tried to do. They had an answer for it.
Correct. I think this game's going to play out just fine. The intensity from both teams has been there. You're looking at South Carolina and Virginia Tech hustling for this ball. They're going for loose balls. They're putting it all out on the floor, as you saw from that hit by Lassiter earlier. Both teams are a little bit frustrated with the referees, but as this plays on, you got to look for this game to come down to the last possession.
Virginia Tech certainly has a lot of experience in some high-quality games. Again, they've won 3 of the last 5 conference titles, most recently 2 years ago. Last year, they fell to Georgia Tech in the conference title game. The Gamecocks were eliminated in the quarterfinals. And as we are speaking of playoffs, I got another update from the regionals down in Florida. Quite something going on there. No score between the Gamecocks and South Florida Bulls as we go to overtime. So the next team to score will win and advance to face the winner of UNC Wilmington and Liberty tomorrow, with a berth in the national tournament on the line. All comes down to this for Gamecock hockey. Again, it's a rematch of the Birmingham Bowl between the Gamecocks and Bulls. We will let you know the final as soon as it goes final from Florida Hospital Center ice. Quite something here. Evidently, Bobby Lombardi in goal for the Gamecocks has been as good as he has always been this year, but USF's goalie has been just as good, neutralizing the very powerful South Carolina offense. Back here at Bluff Road, 4-2 South Carolina over Virginia Tech here. Certainly not the explosive offense here that neither of these teams have had over the first 2 games. South Carolina scoring over 20 in both of their first 2. Virginia Tech also has put up 9 and 16.
And Virginia Tech comes out in a man-to-man defense. You look for South Carolina's coaching staff to have made a play for both situations, and it looks like they're going to go here.
Will Lansinger down inside, quick up, down move, and right back up as it's Russell Coulter who finishes for South Carolina and makes it a 5-2 lacrosse game.
And Lassiter there up top, he has a great split dodge to open that up. Coulter comes back from X, gets an easy little feed, 2 fakes, and he sticks it right past the VT goalie.
That's one of those nice moves in front, very hard to stop from a goalie. I mean, what are you even thinking in that point when you're just going one-on-one and he's able to deke and dodge like that?
Coaches are going to tell the goalie there not to go for that first fake, but after you go to 2 or 3, it's really hard. You're just trying to follow the ball, and Coulter did a great job of changing planes on his shot, meaning he went from high to low there to finish, and that's how he scored.
Coulter came in tonight tied for the points lead between these two teams, or the points lead for South Carolina, and now he has a couple of extra goals to add to that total. Virginia Tech will win this face-off here as the Hokies now trailing once again by 3, and now it's won right back by the Gamecocks.
And they're calling a loose ball push here on the Gamecocks. I'm not completely sure I agree with that call, but refs have been a little bit bad this game.
Coach O'Brien having a conversation, Tim O'Brien of the Hokies on the far side, having a conversation with the referee there, but he'll take the last call certainly, and the Hokies on from behind now. Playing it back up top with it here. This is Tim Nordbrook, and he sends it toward Vion Coates. The Gamecocks kind of going right there toward the center, waiting to see if the ball trickled on across. It did not, so Coates gets it for free, and now heads it right back down. Coming in, fires it on behind.
Oh, that's
center
a great
back up
feed.
top. Danny Riley fires low and he scores. There's that opposite hip shot once again. Riley will cash in.
Danny Riley going low pie there. You see the feed from behind to X. Danny Riley from about 12 yards, changing planes on his shot with that 3/4 release and sticking it low.
Riley now with 11 goals on the season. Was on the 3rd team All-SEC, All-SELC a year ago.
When Virginia Tech does have their offense going here, everything is initiated up top from Coates. Every time Coates dodges, he looks to pass it down to X, and that's where their offense starts to generate from.
And from the sideline, the Gamecocks' Max Quifo telling our own Jack Taylor that his boys have come ready to play. We've seen that tonight. Also, the Gamecocks preaching aggressiveness without carelessness and attributing that last goal to that. So Virginia Tech here cuts it back to 5-3, and it looks like the Hokies will control here.
No violations on the face-offs yet, but there have been some plays called that are giving Virginia Tech these possessions. I thought it would be a much better face-off battle here, but it's looking to go Virginia Tech's way for most of this.
Up top here for the Hokies, this is Ian Quinn. Quinn fires it off to the right side. Bringing it on forward here is Koetzer. Koetzer makes one man miss. Finds across Danny Riley. Riley loses it. Very good check from behind by one of the long poles for the Gamecocks, taking it away here very nicely.
That'll be number 16, Reese Nickerson there, and that's a great trail check as Riley tried to make a roll dodge.
John Henneberry trying to go all the way coast to coast and fires and just missed the bottom right part of the crease.
Gamecocks tried to go quick there. Didn't pay off in this situation, but it sure is getting this crowd excited.
A lot of energy in transition can be hard to stop in this sport. South Carolina already has one goal doing that. That was the first goal of the game from the stick of Graham Lorber. Now controlling it here for the Gamecocks on behind. This is Noah St. John. On again here up top, Landsinger swings it over to John Bells. Bells with it once again, top right of the box, swings it over. Dropping it for a moment, but recovering was Arturo Hervada, who comes in, shoots from almost no angle and missed well wide.
Look out in the crowd there.
We were going to go home with some souvenirs tonight. Or at least have to chuck it back in. I'll have a souvenir for a moment. Here's Landsinger working his way from behind the cage. A little bit of pressure provided by a few Hokies there. Now the Gamecocks trying to center it. Losing it now. The ground ball heads on towards center. John Bells is there, picks it up. And here come the Gamecocks here with a little bit of numbers moving.
Oof.
Another shot wide into the crowd. South Carolina brings it back in, just 2:57 to go here in the second quarter. Big check from high. That'll be a penalty called here against Virginia Tech as the shot went well high. South Carolina for the second time tonight goes man up.
And that's going to be a slash called on Virginia Tech. I believe that's number 13 for the Hokies. That'll be Daniel Bishop going into the box for a minute.
So the
correction, that's number 12, Andrew Beard.
Gamecocks 0 for 1 on the man up. They turned it over with about 32 seconds expired their first time with that man advantage. Actually, it looks like Gamecocks controlling it here. On a cross now. Up top with it here, James Petrus. Sends it on to the right side. Taken here for a moment by Alex Wenzel. Now fires it in. Great centering pass. The Gamecocks cash in. It's Graham Lorber with his second goal of the night. And the Gamecocks have extended it to 6-3.
And the Gamecocks ball movement there was just absolutely fantastic, Brett. They kept on moving the ball, keeping the ball hot, making those Virginia Tech defenders come out and play them. And in the end, they were able to find Graham Lorber on the inside for another goal right in front.
Lorber, a dangerous person when he gets close in. And South Carolina now back with a 3-goal lead. This is the third time tonight that they've led by that margin. Continuing to keep the Hokies at bay.
And a switch up on the face-off here. The Gamecocks are going to go with a long pole, Reese Nickerson, probably hoping to limit transition here for the Hokies.
First time Nickerson's taken a face-off all year for the Gamecocks. It had been Greg Helfrich at every single one coming into tonight. Trying to get a little bit more experience here for Nickerson. Ooh. Big check, my goodness. And not a legal one there, evidently.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an illegal body check, probably non-releasable. Corey Jovine tried to lay the wood, but was just way too high there. And it looks like he broke his stick too.
He didn't lay the wood, but he certainly broke it. My goodness. That was a football-like hit, kind of lowered his shoulder, broke the stick, came out and just chucked the other half of the stick right off to the sideline. He'll go to the box. I think he'll be okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. This penalty is an illegal body check. Looks like 1 minute non-releasable.
And so with 2:23 to go here, the Hokies, no matter what, will have the next 60 seconds man up. Trailing by 3, and they were able to score late in the first quarter, get a little bit of momentum there heading into quarter number 2, so you know that's the same goal for them going into halftime, and a good opportunity to do that here. Gamecock coaches saying they weren't as happy with that call, but that'll be the way it goes.
I don't think you can really have too much to argue about there. That hit was obviously high, opened up his hands, and the ref has to call that one there. It's high to the head. You just can't do that in the sport of lacrosse.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Kyron. I think most times, as you see, just coaches will argue penalties no matter what. Coming back up top, Danny Riley here, swings it over near side. Now back up top to Riley, on across Kotzer, plays it down. Quick shot came from no angle. The Hokies had a man behind, so they will keep it here. 1:47 to go in the half.
And that shot was from number 15, Mitchell Hopkins. Not a bad shot, but I'm not sure I particularly like his angle. I would have liked to see him take another step upfield and fire there.
Kotzer there as Haynes, nice job kind of contorting his stick, was he kind of knelt down and blocked it with the top of the stick where it met the netting, and the Gamecocks will control and probably get the rest of the penalty to expire here.
Gamecocks are going to have to get over here quick. They're going to look to get the ball to their attack and run out this penalty.
Corey Yovine on across now. Back out of the box. Guess not really a penalty box per se, but it's something like that. At least not in the same way that I have a hockey box.
No. Substitution box and penalty boxes are going to be around the same in lacrosse. It's going to be the same area. I think that one's there is going to be a careless turnover by the Gamecocks. Virginia Tech putting a lot of pressure on the Gamecocks, trying to force a turnover and get this ball back on offense before this penalty expires.
Final 55 seconds now of the half. Virginia Tech on across center and moving quickly. Up top, here's Vion Kotzer.
It's even here.
Kotzer to his right, 44 seconds now. 6-3.
Look for Virginia Tech to hold this ball here. You won't get a shot clock or a stall warning put on with 30 seconds left in the game, but you will get this flag down.
Kotzer up top, tries to feed it on. The Gamecocks eventually will pick it up, and that'll merit the whistle here with just 24 seconds to go.
Yeah, flag down here. Not exactly sure what the penalty was on that one. We're going to have to wait until we get our call from the sidelines on that.
We've got 19 seconds to go in the quarter. It's been a little bit of a down. Now back to 24, check that. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a short break, then we'll have a halftime report, break down what we've seen in this first half, tell you what we think we might see in the final 30 minutes of play. A great SELC matchup here. Early part in the season, again, South Carolina in the Northeast Division, Virginia Tech in the Northwest. And the way it works, if you're not familiar with the SELC, in the tournament, it's the top 2 teams of each division, Northwest, Northeast, Southeast, and Southwest. Top 2 teams from each will make it into the tournament for an 8-team bracket, and you'll have the winner of the Southeast playing the number 2 team in the Southwest, and likewise for all the divisions. Again, South Carolina finished second in the Northeast last year, played the Northwest winning Liberty Flames and lost in a very close one, 12-9. Virginia Tech finished second to Liberty, but ended up beating NC State, who won the Gamecocks division. Virginia Tech would advance all the way to the championship before falling to Georgia Tech.
And I believe right now the refs have Ryan Vallon in the box. There's been a little bit of confusion, and they haven't really gotten the penalties sorted out here. Both coaches are seeming to plead their case, and nothing seems to be going either team's way.
Or the fans' way either, as you heard that boo loud and clear.
Yeah, the fans are excited for this one here. These Gamecocks are not nationally ranked and hosting number 16, and we're seeing a great game out here.
Yeah, say it on air. Let's get to that.
Yeah, Jack, we're going to say it on air.
I'm going to see in just a moment if we can get to Jack Taylor. He's got a report on what just happened here with the penalty.
Hey, Brett. Yeah, so there's a little bit of confusion over here on the sidelines. The refs, the table thought that the penalty occurred at 2:53, which is when it occurred, and the refs and VT both believed that it was at 2:23. So, and for that to happen, USC would have had an extra man when they weren't supposed to, because it was a 2-minute lockdown penalty, so he was not allowed to come out of the box until 1:23, but the table believed that it was 1:53, so there was an extra 30 seconds, an extra man. So now I believe they've been penalized, but I'm not entirely sure, because 31 is now standing on the box. I mean, standing in the kneeling in the penalty box, but nothing's happened score-wise, so we'll see what the effect it has here. That's all from the sideline, and hopefully they figured it all out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jack. So interesting there, a time dispute there, thinking that maybe Jovine got out too early.
Yeah, the dispute there is on if it was a 1 or 2 minute penalty for that illegal body check. It looks like they've gotten it sorted out so far, and the Gamecocks are back on defense. Quick confusion there as Lassinger was behind the midfield line, and Virginia Tech was 6-on-4 for a second and didn't realize it.
Nordbrook had it for a moment. Now Coates to Riley. Last couple seconds of the quarter, and the Hokies are not going to be able to get a shot away. That will do it. So at halftime, South Carolina doubling up Virginia Tech by a score of 6-3. Their fans are liking it. We will talk to you about what we've heard even more so on the sidelines as Jack Taylor will come on over here, and we'll look forward to breaking this down for you when we return. South Carolina and Virginia Tech on this Friday night SELC lacrosse matchup. Join us back right after this on the Capital City Sports Network. Welcome back to Bluff Road Field, everybody. We are live with your halftime report here between South Carolina and Virginia Tech. The Gamecocks leading the Hokies 6-3. I'm Brett Williams alongside Kyron Beale and also Jack Taylor coming across the field from the other sideline and joining us for this halftime report. Gamecocks gone on the board early in transition. Graham Lorber with the goal. He has a couple so far tonight, along with Russell Coulter with 2 as well for the Gamecocks. And despite the fact that the Hokies have crawled their way back in a little bit, Kyron, the Gamecocks always seem to just get a little extra edge, and they've kept Virginia Tech at bay.
Yeah, exactly, Brett. The Gamecocks have come out with great intensity tonight. Playing up against number 16 Virginia Tech is no easy thing, and they've come out with the right amounts of intensity. They're making the hustle plays that they need to, and everything is just coming together for these Gamecocks right now.
Now, Jack, you've been telling us pretty much all game about the energy on that other sideline. What have you been hearing and seeing over there?
Like I said, it's like hockey. What I hear and see, I can't say. I just know they do not like number 6 of the other team. He's their Fogo, and they have been chirping back and forth. Just a lot of rapport between the two teams, and it is creating a lot of energy. And as you can see, a lot of penalties and extracurriculars in the game. So, I mean, it is just showing you how exciting club sports can be, how competitive they are. The energy on the sidelines, you catch it, you get into it. It's really, I can't think of the word.
Infectious, probably.
That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you. Gosh. All right, yeah. So that's what I'm seeing.
And the energy seems to be infectious out here on the sideline as well.
Yeah.
This crowd has really shown up. They're having fun, and everybody is enjoying this game right now.
Defensively, too, really a lot of nice perimeter defense that both of these teams have showed. South Carolina perhaps on a few more possessions. How about Colin Haynes in goal? He's made a couple of really good saves.
Yeah, Colin Haynes has been seeing the ball fantastic. He's really gotten his stick down to the ball when he needs to, and the defense is really helping him out, deflecting some of those shots and passes.
It is 6-3 once again, South Carolina over Virginia Tech. Jack, I believe you're going to take over cameras. We got Spencer Lee to the sideline. We appreciate your work here in the first half.
Yeah, can't wait for the second half.
All right, it's going to be very interesting here between the Gamecocks and Hokies. We're going to take a very short break. Be right back with you as we get ready for half number 2. Gamecocks and Hokies next on the Capital City Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter underway here between Virginia Tech and South Carolina. Thanks for being with us. Brett Williams and Kyron Beale with you here on the CCSN tonight. Virginia Tech controlling as we start the third quarter here. Up top, it's Vion Coetzer. Tries to get his way off of one man, now sends it on a side. Back up top here for the Hokies.
And if you had forgotten, if you weren't with us a little bit earlier, Virginia Tech has come back with the ball to start out the second half because of a penalty.
A couple of times those penalties have carried over. Most have been called against South Carolina tonight, though there's been a little bit on Virginia Tech. South Carolina does have a goal on the man up tonight.
It's a great roll dodge.
With it here is Ryan Cleary. Sends it up top to Danny Riley. Swings it toward the right, now sends it back off. And now comes back up top, I should say.
And at some point here, the refs are going to have to reward the great defense by South Carolina.
Well, speaking of that, the Gamecocks do get it and do get to the ball quicker than the Hokies can, so South Carolina will have it and bring it out. Brought on up, now sending it over. Pass went way wide and ended up being picked right up by the Hokies as they bring it right back out. Hustling on across center with it now. This is Michael Hopkins. Hopkins going straight down the middle, now feeds it off.
And what Virginia Tech did differently there from the first half is they decided to go with the 10-man ride, meaning that they pulled their goalie out and were able to press everybody on the ball and force a turnover.
You got to imagine they're going to be making a lot of moves like that as this game goes on if they continue to trail.
Yeah, I agree. From the half, you got to think Virginia Tech has to do something differently defensively.
Coates, a one-timer, went up a little bit high. Late flag from behind here. Let's see what the call is.
Gamecocks are bringing in their man-down unit as we wait for the call.
Another man-up opportunity for Virginia Tech. If I'm not mistaken, the Hokies have not been able to cash in on one quite yet, though they do have 3 goals to their name. Check that. We do have 1 man-up goal for Virginia Tech, so 1 on each side. 13:02 to go here in quarter number 3.
And it looks like the ref is issuing a small sideline warning here to head coach James Harkey.
The Energy, imagine that maybe seeing more of those before the night's over. On down now, taken here by Tim Nordbrook. Unnecessary roughness, the call here, 1 minute. Coates comes up, now feeds it on across to Riley, works his way to the left. Check that, not Riley, now this is Riley. Sends it on, Coates back down, Nordbrook, now back up top. Here's Riley, drifts in, Colin Haynes again, got a piece of his stick on it.
Colin Haynes made a great save there. He was facing down the barrel of a loaded gun there with Riley and made a fantastic save. Oh, it looks like Riley may have ripped the net here.
Evidently. Yeah, a couple of the Gamecock fans over here, they're signaling no goal. All the Hokies, they're saying it's a goal. I think he did exactly do that, rip the net.
Talk about staring down the barrel of a loaded gun, and Haynes, I guess, couldn't do anything to stop that.
Well, I know it hit off of Haynes' stick. You could hear the ping. Evidently, it deflected into the net, then went through the net and way out of play.
Just too much power there from Riley. A fantastic shot, high to high, going top cheddar, as we like to call it over here at CCS.
I love it right there. It's almost like the baseball with the cheese is the fastball. A little bit more refined going with the cheddar here. Riley with a pair of goals now. 6-4 here, South Carolina. Virginia Tech trying to control the ground ball right in front of South Carolina's net, but they cannot. Gamecocks will get it and break out.
I want to say that's number 9, Corey Yovine with the ground ball there. But that Virginia Tech ride forces it out. Oh, out on Virginia Tech.
As though South Carolina will bring it in here from the sideline right by the Hokies bench. Up top, controlled by James Petrus. Petrus, like Coates for the Hokies, has run the offense for the Gamecocks from the point much of the night. Both number 2s, interestingly enough. Henneberry sends it on around behind. Now the Gamecocks back to Russell Coulter near side.
As we've seen all night, expect South Carolina to initiate from up top as they're doing right now.
Nice move in from Petrus. Feeds Coulter, who thought about a shot, now works his way around a Hokie, falls to the ground. Ball bounces around there. Ground ball still loose in and out of the cross of one of the Hokies.
And that'll be a loose ball push going Virginia Tech, and they're looking to go fast here.
Why not?
Oh, and they're going to pull him back. He went a little bit too fast for the refs liking there.
And I don't believe the Hokies are going to have much contest. The Gamecocks fans still having a problem with the call.
It's an electric crowd out here tonight. This number 16 Virginia Tech has brought out the best of the Gamecock fans.
Flag from behind. That one pinged off the upright of the goalposts here.
3 points.
Evidently. And we are on a multi-purpose field here at Bluff Road. Just behind us, the mighty structure of Williams-Brice Stadium. Kind of awaits right there, like the fortress that it is. So a couple of practice football fields out here as well, hence the goalpost.
Didn't see exactly what Gamecock that was, but that was a great trail check by one of the Gamecock defenders to make him force that shot high.
Nonetheless, it appears to be another man-up situation for Virginia Tech from a penalty that came on the defensive side of the field for Virginia Tech.
Calling a penalty for playing it before 5 yards.
The penalty is on playing it before 5 yards, so I'm taking it that this South Carolina team did not give the proper space to the Virginia Tech opponent before they blew the whistle.
Danny Riley with it, sends it up top to Vion Coetzer. On to the right, summarized as illegal procedure. That seems about right. Here's Coetzer, plays it on down. Coetzer once again, now back up top. Riley swings it off to his left. Ryan Cleary right to Riley once again. Now to Coetzer. Hokies continue to work the perimeter. On behind they go for it. This is Sullivan Warner with it. Up top, low shot, they score. Ripping it in there low, Michael Hopkins. And just like that, the Hokies, 2 unanswered goals coming out in the first 5 minutes, or just the first 4:01 of the third quarter to make it 6-5 Carolina.
And the Hokies are looking dangerous here. They've come out a lot more fired up this half. Everything is seeming to go their way so far, and you wonder, when are these Gamecocks going to turn back up?
We knew Virginia Tech was going to have that in the tank. The pedigree of this program. And it'll be another big face-off here right now, Kyron.
Yeah, Helfrich is really going to have to do a great job of trying to push this out to his wings. When he's made it a battle, it seems to go the Gamecocks' way.
Well, Helfrich just picked it up right himself and took off with it. Dragovic, a huge stick check there. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Gamecocks. Virginia Tech is loving it right now, and well, they should.
Yeah, they're getting their team back into it. If you just look at the sidelines right now, Virginia Tech is electric, and that South Carolina team is not showing the same intensity that they have shown in the first half. Their bench is a little bit stale, and something's going to have to happen here shortly, and the Gamecocks need to pick it up.
Kevin Guy plays it along for Virginia Tech, but it's still loose now. Ground ball on behind the net, won by South Carolina. Big win for the Gamecocks. On across, played it on up here now with it. This is Noah St. John on across center. Makes his way through 2 Hokies, now loses it. Ground ball loose. One Hokie tried to get his long pole on it. Ground ball still loose in front of the Hokies bench. It's picked up by South Carolina. Very nice control here.
And this ride by Virginia Tech is really starting to cause problems for the Gamecock. They were lucky to pick up the ground ball there, as number 10, Andrew Dalbora, was able to kick it out to himself and scoop it up. Gamecocks are going to go yellow and try and get the proper substitutions on the field.
Dalbora feeds it on off. A couple of players bouncing it around here, now controlling it. This is James Petrus once more. Comes in toward his left. A bounce pass. Perhaps a bit errant, but Russell Coulter is there to scoop it up and send it right back up to Petrus. Slides to his left now. Petrus down to Coulter once more. Looks inside for Henneberry, doesn't find him, just keeps it. Solid stick checking provided by the Virginia Tech Hokies, and they will win it. Send it on across, ground ball lost, still loose here. They continue to battle for it. And Virginia Tech will control. Cross field shot, little body check, but it's won here by Virginia Tech. Hokies breaking out. Andrew Baird on across center with the long pole, sends it on down. Taken here by Sullivan Warner.
And that was a great pass there. He was able to find his outlet, get it on the opposite side of the field, and they were able to get a touch in the box.
Hokies to set up their offense once again. 8:43 to go here in the third quarter. South Carolina 6, Virginia Tech 5. Up at the top here, Martriano sends it on across now. Lost briefly. Chris Lansford was fighting for it, and a whistle comes from behind. I believe a timeout has been called.
You're right, Brett. That's going to be a timeout, Virginia Tech.
So Virginia Tech ends up calling the timeout, but right now all the momentum on their side, all the energy on their side, and so far have really done a nice job controlling the ball for this third quarter.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Brett. Virginia Tech has come out the second half with a different level of intensity you didn't see from them in the first half. They're able to control the ball, they're causing unsettled situations, and they're just making this Gamecock team regret every decision they make.
Going to be interesting to see if South Carolina can really establish a couple of possessions in a row to just tuck the rhythm out a little bit of what the Hokies have been doing.
Yeah, I think if South Carolina is able to string together a couple possessions, they'll find their offensive footing again. But right now, it looks like we're in store for a great finish.
That's for sure, and you wouldn't want to see anything different, that's for sure. Certainly the crowd here is getting its money's worth. And we're going to send it over for a little report from the sidelines from Spencer Lee, who's now heading over on the other side of the field. What you got, Spencer?
Virginia Tech has all the energy right now. South Carolina is starting to look deflated. They're very unhappy on the bench. The coaches are trying to will the rest to start calling the game the way they want them to. And it's really not looking like it's going in their favor at all.
Thank you, Spencer. Certainly not good when a coach is trying to rely on the referees to help him out. Hokies here keeping the pressure on. Halfway through the third quarter, thereabout.
This
Up top here.
Gamecock defense has come back out here in a zone, looking to unsettle the Virginia Tech Hokie offense. That man-on-man defense was not working initially, so they switch it up and try to give this Virginia Tech team a different look.
This worked for the first 14 minutes of the first quarter for sure, and the Hokies equalize. Sharp shot from the left side comes off the stick of Ryan Cleary for his first of the night. It was 6-3, it's now 6-6.
And that shot was just an absolute cannon from Cleary. Cleary steps into about 15 yards out and puts it top left.
Cleary, the fifth different goal scorer tonight for Virginia Tech. Time of the goal coming at 6:57. And a brand new lacrosse game as we start over at 0-0 right here. And a tie game midway through the third.
And the way the Gamecocks have come out flat, I wonder if that Gamecocks coaching staff is wondering about making a switch in goal to Colby Hogan. He has played in the two previous games for the Gamecocks, as both previously had allowed 2 goals. And at this point in the game, you have to start wondering.
Certainly have to wonder, and a big face-off win for South Carolina here.
That'll be a legal procedure on Virginia Tech, gifting that ball over to South Carolina.
Take the break when you can get it. South Carolina, a little bit of pep in their step here, trying to get something going. Lansinger with it here. Going back to your previous point there, Kyron, it's an interesting point you make. Is certainly Haynes is run into a little bit of trouble here lately, but a lot of those shots have really come from point-blank range. He's made a lot of good saves when he's had the opportunity tonight.
He has. In the first half, he was really seeing the ball, getting his stick down, getting his body down, able to make those nice saves. And in this second half, you haven't been able to see the same. I'm wondering if it could be part of the lighting on this field, as Virginia Tech's goalie struggled on that last side. As we see a bounce goal by Graham Lorber.
Lorber now with a hat trick tonight. Just what the doctor ordered from South Carolina.
And Lorber there goes old school, sticking that ball in the turf and bringing it back up top. The Virginia Tech goalie could do nothing about that. He honestly looked a little surprised when he saw it coming towards him.
That's an unstoppable shot for sure there. Lorber with 3. And the Gamecocks have the lead right back, 7-6, as the Hokies have yet to lead this game tonight. Another big face-off here. See how the momentum swings here.
And that goal's putting a little bit of energy back into this Gamecocks crowd. They were getting a little flat as Virginia Tech came out and scored 3 goals straight. That goal has put the energy back in this crowd.
Now Virginia Tech wins this face-off here and then sends it on down. Taken here by Brian Cooper. And the bench also getting a little more energized. Spencer Lee telling us they're really trying to get their team back going on the field after that goal, trying to get it back. Trying to check from behind. Big long pole stick check didn't quite work. Still providing some pressure all over it right now for the Gamecocks. That's Reese Nickerson.
And the Gamecocks are trying to pressure Virginia Tech, but they just look unfazed right now.
Been a different Hokie team in half number 2 compared to half number 1, that's for sure. Up top right now for the Hokies is Vion Koetzer once more. Pump fakes to his right, now goes back up top. Taking it here, Ian Quinn. Quinn works his way around the Gamecock trying to get inside.
That's a great check by the Gamecocks defense there.
South Carolina on across center, moving quickly. Played it up right in front of the Hokies bench. They're controlling it here.
South Carolina's trying to go fast here as a flag gets thrown down.
Look out, folks. They're going to play it right back inside now. Tim O'Brien, head coach of the Hokies, not happy with the call. He runs to the referee and trying to argue his case. And not going to work out for him, it appears.
Not exactly sure what the call was there. Looks like he's going to the table now to issue it.
We'll check with Spencer here in just a moment on what that call is. So you mentioned, if you haven't been with us, first half there was a dispute at one point from an illegal body check called against Corey Yovine of the Gamecocks as to whether it was a 1 minute or a 2 minute penalty, and that created a significant stoppage of play after the fact when Virginia Tech was disputing that they thought Yovine had been released too soon. That got settled out. Appears that this one took a little less time to settle. The Gamecocks going man up here, and cue the Hokies chanting from the sideline, try to distract the Gamecocks offensively. Quick shot, big hooking shot from Coulter. It goes wide.
Coulter tried to go low to high there and put something on the highlight reel. Just didn't work out for him as he goes wide left.
Nice pump fake from Coulter, then loses the ball in the process. It is controlled by the Gamecocks from behind. Up on the far side, here's Petrus, bounces it off his stick. He's going to hustle toward the sideline and loses it out of bounds. The Hokies take it over. Virginia Tech here. A couple of big checks by the Gamecocks. Make it 3, trying to make it 4.
And they get that ball loose.
Stick out of the hands of one Gamecock here, trying to provide the counter pressure.
Oh.
And then losing it.
Coulter tried to shoot it there before he even had possession.
Gamecocks lead the shot count here 17-7. Lead the scoring 7-6. Stopping on a dime now, moving off to his left side. Jackson Soul on across center for the Hokies. Plays it on near side, taking it here. Chris Lowe.
What you've seen from Virginia Tech so far is absolutely phenomenal in this second half. You know they're going to try and attack from up top, and that's what the Gamecocks are looking to stop. That zone defense worked out in the first half. Hasn't worked out so hot here in the second, but we're gonna look and see what they're getting at right now. As it looks like they're coming out in a man-to-man.
Sorry about that, Kyron. A stat correction. There's ground balls 17-7 in favor of South Carolina. Vion Koetzer making everybody miss, and he fires and scores. Top shelf, opposite side. Koetzer with his second tally of the night, and that was a beauty.
Absolutely. Koetzer just has a nice split dodge from left to right, runs through those easy stick checks. A coach is going to tell you you need to put a body on that, and he just sticks that shot high to high on the goalie's opposite hand. The Gamecock goalie, Colin Haynes, is a lefty, so he stuck it right in the left top-hand corner.
Time of that goal coming at 10:42 in the third quarter to tie it at 7-7. Helfrich and Dragovic once again going after it. The Fogo men for these two teams. Dragovic had it for a second, kicked it off to the right side. Battle coming right in front of us. A penalty called here. Everybody fighting for it. Loose in front, sticks flying, players flying. The ball is still loose on the ground, bouncing all over the place. It's won by the Hokies. Hustling forward with it here. That's Zekna Chazel. Chazel hands it off. Hokies working their way up top. Send it all the way across. Fires a one-timer. Does Riley. Where's the ball?
Looks like that shot went high there, Brett. And we're going to get the call on the penalty here soon.
Going to be another penalty against South Carolina here. I was hedging my bets on where the ball was. I wasn't sure if Riley had ripped another hole in the net.
Absolutely. That shot we saw earlier was just phenomenal. But this is going to give Virginia Tech another man-up opportunity, and they seem to be converting from these. Right now, South Carolina is going to have to look to keep it packed in, as we saw that quick ball movement from Virginia Tech got them unsettled the last 2 opportunities they had.
So here goes Virginia Tech with that man up. The best teams out there will never fail to convert when they have the extra man out there. Both of these teams have done their job cashing in here and there on these tonight.
Look for the pass to Riley here, back up top. I think they're going to work it back down and then look for him up top again.
Coates back to Riley here, swings it over, fires it off the top of the crossbar. Won by Coates, right back up to Riley. He lost it for a moment. Tech thought they had the go-ahead goal, but they did not. Coates with it here, fades it on down. On behind here, the Hokies trying to work their way back up, feeding it toward Coates, bounced off the top of his stick onto center. Ground ball is loose.
That's going to be an over and back call on Virginia Tech. For those of you who don't know, in lacrosse, it's sort of like basketball. Once you get that ball into the offensive end, you cannot cross the midfield line with it again.
So South Carolina will now take advantage and try to kill the rest of the penalty. Will Landsinger with it here. Sends it on across to the far side. Still man down are the Gamecocks, but they are about to expire that. 2:44 to go here in the third quarter. A 7-7 game between the Gamecocks and Hokies. Can't beat it.
Hokies are realizing that they're still man up now, and they're trying to double team. And that's a great swim move.
Gamecocks trying to score shorthanded here. Feeding it off to the right side, Colin Lopez. Now back up top, this is Griffin Giles. Penalty has been released. Giles swings it off to his left side. Here's Landsinger. Plays it down from behind. Henneberry now back up top to Landsinger. And to Giles. Giles looking to attack. Clears out some space to the left side. Now going toward the crease. Plays it high.
Great save. Great save.
Brian Cooper got on the top of his cross and popped it out behind the net. The Gamecocks keep it though.
Giles tried to go stick side high on the keeper, and Cooper said he was having none of that.
South Carolina making some men miss. Now coming up. Well, spin shot and missed wide of the crease and bounced out.
I want to say that's number 23, Grant Snyder. He did a good job of getting to the 5-and-5 on a question mark move and just couldn't bury the shot.
Coming up now for a moment, the Gamecocks trying to do something with this. Matthew Weigel. Weigel working his way around a couple of players, fires and scores. Check that, that's John Bells, who eventually got it back from Weigel, but Bells gives the Gamecocks the lead right back.
Well, the move didn't work from Snyder from the goalie's left-hand side, so Bells says, I'm going to try it from the right. The question mark move and sticking it high past Brian Cooper.
Time of that goal, 13:20. And the Gamecocks continue to have the lead here, 8-7. As Virginia Tech has tied it on a few occasions, but the Gamecocks have answered right back, leading it once again by a goal.
And I think we're in for a good one the rest of this game, Brett. It's been intense. The fans are out there screaming. Both benches are feeling it. The teams are feeling it. Goals are being scored. You can't ask for a better game on a Friday night here in Columbia.
One here by Virginia Tech, and they're hustling on across center. Couple of checks provided by the Gamecocks, but great work controlling it here by Greg Burris. Burris working through everybody, going right toward the crease. Now feeds it off to the left side. Bouncing ball getting up in the stick of one of the Hokies on the far side.
Probably made the smarter decision there to pass it off the long pole. Coach probably would have been too happy if he tried to run through a double team and score that one.
You know, if he would have finished it though, I think he would have said, hey, don't try that next time, but he'll take it for now. Up at the top, Gerard Martriano. There's a little back and forth with Lansford. Martriano with it here. Finally feeds off the screen, clears some space, right side, bounces it. Haynes may have gotten a piece of that, otherwise it went well wide.
Yeah, and that's a breakdown in defensive communication from the Gamecocks. One Gamecock called a switch and the other did not hear.
A little bit of a lazy shot coming right across the crease. It almost worked out.
And that ball's going to go to South Carolina. It looked like a Virginia Tech attackman stepped in the crease.
Here comes Griffin Giles all the way into the box. Now feeds it on down. Swung on around. Controlled here near side. This is Colin Lopez.
I think the Gamecocks are trying to get a shot opportunity here, and he just gets stood up there by, and what a check.
Checked the stick completely out of his hand. The ground ball is still loose. A hold is called against Virginia Tech, so the Gamecocks take over. They're trying to come out quickly, but not too quickly. We heard a violation of that earlier in this game.
Ref's not supposed to do that there, Brett. Supposed to be quick with that and get that ball back out.
And a timeout was called here. A little bit of, oh, excuse me, that is the end of the quarter. So 8-7 the score here in favor of South Carolina. We're going to take a short break. We'll have a sideline report coming on the backside of this break, and then get ready for a phenomenal fourth quarter between the Gamecocks and the Hokies coming your way right after this. You're watching SELC Lacrosse on the Capital City Sports Network. We are live at Bluff Road Field, everybody. Brett Williams, Kyron Beale here with you. Thanks for being with us. South Carolina and Virginia Tech locked in a great one. It's 8-7 Gamecocks over the Hokies as we go to the fourth and final quarter here tonight. A ruckus Gamecock crowd in attendance and a lot of energy on both benches. Should be a phenomenal final 15 minutes of this game. Once again, it's Dragovic and Helfrich going after it here. The teams have switched sides once more. Hokies now moving right to left. They win it here on the ground ball, and taking it the other way, sending it up, is Jackson Soul.
And he has an errant pass there, giving the ball back to the Gamecocks, and these Gamecock fans are getting excited.
Referee telling them to make sure they're staying off the field so they will get back off. The Gamecocks hustling it forward here. Griffin Giles working away across the midfield. Big lofting pass, unable to be controlled by the Gamecocks.
And that'll be a push without possession on Virginia Tech. It'll be Gamecock ball there, Brett.
Gamecocks get a little bit of a break there. Giles had the right idea on the pass, couldn't quite execute it too well. Up top here with it, James Petrus sends it on. This is John Henneberry. On across here to Petrus.
I would really like to see Petrus challenge his matchup some more in this possession. But it looks like South Carolina is going to invert, putting this midfielder behind and get a big little screen.
On a cross, lost down low. Still loose, a whistle will come. As I believe that's going to be a push against Virginia Tech, it will be, so South Carolina controls once more.
I really like what South Carolina tried to do there, though. They brought a midfielder down low, trying to get a big little screen and get an attackman on a short stick defensive midfielder to go at his matchup.
South Carolina plays it down here. Now sending it back up top, here's Henneberry. Works his way to the right side, now feeds it down. Taken here by Andrew Dalbora. 13:50 to go here in the game.
Gamecocks are taking their time here, working the ball around, just waiting for the right opportunity.
They're going to try to find one. Here comes Petrus, fires, and it got blocked up. Phenomenal save by Brian Cooper. Pretty much from point blank range on a charging James Petrus, and he made the stop.
Yeah, Cooper made a fantastic stop there, facing down the barrel of a gun once again, and he just matches up stick to stick and is able to make the save.
Greg Burris on across, now dodging the check was Jackson Soul. Feeds it on down. Griffin Giles was trying to lay the lumber, missed him.
Virginia Tech's going to take a second, get their personnel out, and I'd be surprised if you did not see Coates back out here initiating the offense. When Virginia Tech has scored, it's been Coates has been he's been the mastermind behind it all. His dodging opens up all these opportunities for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
He was at the point there, but another errant pass for the Hokies makes it a South Carolina possession here. They'll try to come out here. Giles once again runs into some trouble. Hard check from behind, loses it. Will he be able to keep it? No, he can't. A great check from Virginia Tech from behind. That was Kevin Guy working that long pole. And Virginia Tech back in control here. Ryan Cleary has some clear space. Now decides to retreat back outside the box. 12.5 to go here. Gamecocks 8, Hokies 7. All the way to the top. There's Coates. Slides away to his right. Now works it behind. Gamecocks fans certainly familiar with a Coates, Mike Coates of the men's basketball team. As Vion Coates here. Now taking it, Ian Quinn fanned on it and ended up losing it on his backswing. Ground ball still loose. Hard check from behind. It's one right back by Coates.
swinging for nothing there, trying to lay the wood on that ground ball.
Now hustling and a bounce pass. Evidently, they're going to call that
shot by Nordbrook there.
Evidently, as it will end up being Virginia Tech ball, so must be considered a shot. That was coming from about even with the crease.
Yeah, I don't like that right there. He had it in his right hand. He needs to put that stick back in his left and increase his angle if he's going to shoot from there, Brett.
Well said there for sure. Hokies controlling it. This is Danny Riley. Now sends it back over to Kotzer. Finds it on the right. Tim Nordbrook. Pump fakes. Now pump fakes the shot. A little back and forth. Now moves to his right. Nordbrook still controlling it. Loses it here. I think that might have been plucked right out of his stick.
Yeah, he tried to pass it to X, and that Gamecock defender, I believe number 5, Max Robert, was just able to pick that pass right out the air. Some coaches call that a nugget, and that'll get you credit on the sidelines.
Virginia Tech providing some nice pressure back here. Hard here, now moving their way out of the Gamecocks. This is Nick Wood on across center. A block here. There's an odd constant whistle coming from somewhere here. Kind of distracted a few folks. Virginia Tech trying to counter very quickly here.
It was an offsides call, but the incorrect call.
And a bounce goal comes here for Virginia Tech off the stick of Ryan Cleary. Make it 2 for him. The game is tied once more, 8-8.
And these Gamecock players are not happy right now. You see what happened was number 22, Nicholas Woods crossed midfield, but the Gamecocks had a man back, so it was wrongly called offsides, giving Virginia Tech possession of that ball, and they're just able to capitalize on an unsettled situation.
Time of the goal, 4:04. And we are all even once again, 8-8 here. Coming up another face-off here, Helfrich and Dragovic, another big one. Seems like these face-offs can really dictate the momentum of the game one way or another. When jammed underneath by the both of them. Pried out for a moment by Dragovic. Big check by South Carolina, a swinging cross. Still loose here. I thought it was controlled by South Carolina, the long pole for a second. Now it is won by a short stick, and the Gamecocks go off to the right side.
That's Helfrich right there.
Not just face-off, get off, but face-off, win the ground ball, and then get off. Helfrich does a nice job there, setting up the offense for the Gamecocks with 10.5 to go here. On across here, taking it, John Bell's the last goal scorer for the Gamecocks. Bells, Dickey, Henneberry all have 1, Coulter 2, and 3 from Graham Lorber. The leading goal scorer coming in tonight, he still is. Now back up top here, Gamecocks lose it. Virginia Tech will pry it away. Here come the Hokies going the other way. With it here is Craig Burris. Burris provided a nice check from behind to Will Lansinger.
Oh, that's a great lift check there by Alex Wenzel, and that creates a ground ball opportunity.
And the Gamecocks convert. They pick it up, moving the other way here.
Fast break opportunity here.
Feed it off to the left side.
One more.
On behind now, the Gamecocks almost had it. Ending up having to retreat here briefly.
And that's a big opportunity missed. Wade Dickey had his eyes on the goal, and I think his eyes got a little bit too wide as he tried to shoot before he cut the pass. Luckily, that Gamecock offense was able to get the ball again.
Shot goes high. Who was there? Virginia Tech. Brian Cooper out of the crease.
Good hustle by both sides there. Cooper made a break as soon as he saw that shot going high, and we had number 1 Will Lassinger.
He doesn't know it. The Hokies are directing all their energy at the Gamecocks bench right now, as tempers have been flaring, as we nearly almost had a fight here on the benches during the third quarter after number 6 seemed to go to the ground. Some of the Gamecocks thought they were bluffing, others said he was hurt.
Thank you, Spencer. That's Spencer Lee on the sideline there. Intensity is rising over there as it is over here. 8.5 minutes to go here. The women's rugby game or scrimmage, whatever was going on there behind us, has come to an end. Some of their players sticking around. Otherwise, still a phenomenal crowd here tonight. And now bounced on across. The Hokies controlling it here at center. Now moving forward here. Losing it was Ian Quinn. Taken right back by the Gamecocks. A lot of loose ground balls being won in the defensive zone. Both of these teams protecting. Now they're trying to go. Fast break again for the Gamecocks. Up top here, Coulter feeds it off to his teammate. They fire. Brian Cooper again there with the save for Virginia Tech.
Lorber had a great shot there, but he put it stick side. He needs to either put that opposite hip if he's going to stay high to high with that one, or opposite stick.
Quinn loses it for a moment, now controls it right back. Now back up top, here's Vion Coates. 7:45 to go here. 8-8 South Carolina and Virginia Tech. SELC battle here early in the season. The Gamecocks and Hokies both 2-0. This is not a divisional game, but an important conference one for them both. Fires it and goes wide. That one came off the stick of Tim Nordbrook.
Virginia Tech has switched formations here. They went to a 1-4-1, it's looking like, trying to create movement in the middle, and they just look to turn it over here.
Another turnover offensively. The Gamecocks trying to create some leverage here. Here's Griffin Giles hustling out of the box for the Hokies and providing a check there for a moment. One of their players moving forward. Giles dodges everybody, now fires over. Quick shot, they score! The Gamecocks have it right back.
That's number 23, Grant Snyder, but I have to give all the credit there to Griffin Giles. He ran through every check in that midfield and was able to pick out a wide open player.
And Giles doing exactly that there. Kyron in transition, a phenomenal play. And Schneider now first on the board tonight, and a big one as South Carolina once again has the lead back with 7:08 to go.
It's been a good one all night here. You hate to see this game starting to come to a close. Hopefully, you never know, we might have a winner after regulation ends. If not, we'll have to go into overtime.
Speaking of overtime, unfortunate news for Gamecock Nation as the game was settled down there in Florida in overtime. The USF Ice Bulls knocking off the Gamecocks by a final of 1-0. The goal coming on the power play roughly 7 minutes into the first overtime period. Gamecocks had to kill off one power play, then immediately went back on the penalty kill, and eventually the Ice Bulls were a little bit too much of a match for the Gamecocks with the man advantage. So that wraps up the Gamecock season with a 15-13 record. Their season concludes today. It has been a lot of fun for us following that team over the last 2 years, and certainly a lot of things to be proud of what this team has accomplished here in 2016-2017, and a lot of veterans returning next year as well for South Carolina. And we'll have another great crew to call those games, and hope you join us back on the CCSN for that starting in September.
Before that face-off there, it looks like head coach Tim O'Brien called a stick check on the face-off man, Greg Helfrich. They believed he had an illegal stick, but it turned out the refs checked it, and it was legal. They were looking at the pocket, apparently, in terms of depth. In lacrosse, the ball cannot be below a certain level of depth in the head.
Hokies controlling it here. Here comes Coates sliding off to his left. Swings it back up top. Working it around. Quinn and Riley there. Now on behind. Haynes is protecting near post. Up top to Quinn. Thought about going over to Riley. Didn't have him, so he brings it back up top. Hokies call a play from the sideline. Quinn sends it on down. Taken here by Chris Lowe. And now behind with it now is Ryan Cleary. Cleary tries to center it. He had an open man right in front. That was Nordbrook. Bounced it off his thigh and ends up controlling it before it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I really like that cut there from Nordbrook. Cleary just kind of handcuffed him there and put that pass a little bit low, but Virginia Tech is able to come back up with that ball and continue this offensive possession.
They swing it on around to the far side here. Taking it for a moment. Here's Coatser. Slides to his right now, passes it on behind the net. They swing it around near side. Back up top, Ian Quinn. Quinn makes his way to the right, fires, and it goes wide.
I want to say that shot was actually deflected off of number 88, Frank Fiorina.
Now they play it on. Taken here once again by Nordbrook. Off the ground, it bounces to Ryan Cleary. Good long pull pressure from the Gamecocks. Cleary bounces it past Coatser. Will it get to center? Not quite. Coates are there with his stick. Gamecocks provide a check, trying to knock him over the center line, but he keeps his balance here. Big check there. Absorbs it from the hip, but Coates keeps it. Up top to Ian Quinn, makes a man miss to his right, fires from the left side, and misses well wide. Controlled still by the Hokies. They had a man there close, that was Chris Lowe. 5:02 to go here as the Hokies put it right back in play.
And I'm not a big fan of that shot there. The Hokies had one more man open if he would have looked to move that ball.
Ian Quinn near side, just takes a couple of checks from Henneberry. Now inside, shot missed to the right side of the crease. Lowe is there. Virginia Tech continues this possession with 4:44 to go. 9-8 Gamecocks here at Bluff Road.
I'm really liking this leadership from Colin Haynes right now. As you saw right there before the ball came in, he was screaming at his defense, trying to get them in position.
Absolute launcher there coming off the stick of Ian Quinn. Tried to go top shelf, ended up getting just nothing but air, but Chris Lowe is there to recover from behind again. Here comes Lowe. Here's Coatser on towards center. Ian Quinn hesitates, now fires it off to the right side. Goes right back up top to Quinn. Quinn going back and forth with Ryan Cleary, now hesitates, back down to Cleary again. Cleary on behind, shot comes out, and that's going to be an errant pass. Trickles to the sideline, the Gamecocks take it over with 4:10, a critical turnover there by the Hokies.
And look for the Gamecocks here to get this ball in the box and try and settle it down. That's a long possession by the Virginia Tech offense, and that Gamecock defense is going to need a break.
Colin Haynes almost ran into some trouble there, almost skied the pass out of bounds. Gamecocks centering it here, looking to get it out. High pass, very nice job by John Henneberry grabbing it, sending it down, and he skies the pass. And it's right back to Virginia Tech, a bad mistake there.
He was looking for Liam O'Donnell there, but Liam O'Donnell only comes in on this roster at 5'7", and that was a few feet above him.
So here come the Hokies, and they turn it right back over. They sky that pass. My goodness, Kyron, two big mistakes back and forth here.
Yeah, you wonder how this one is going to change the level of the game. It gives the ball back to South Carolina and gives them a chance to let their defense catch a break and a breather.
And just as we'd expected, we're hearing from Spencer Lee that Coach James Harkey really wants a long possession here, trying to get the Gamecocks to kill off some time. Just 3:25 to go. South Carolina leading by 1 against the number 16 Virginia Tech Hokies. Up at the top here, this is Will Lansinger. Goes off to his right side. Lansinger comes inside the box, fires it down behind. On around, they battle for it. Now back up top, taken here for a moment. This is Andrew Dalbora. Slides off to his left. If you're going to get a shot off, it better be a quality one. The pass goes high. It'll go not out of bounds, but it's controlled by Brian Cooper nonetheless. He's out of the crease. Gamecocks trying to provide some checks on him. Got a little bit of a hit from behind the head there. Bounces on the center. The Hokies have it. Now pushed aside from behind. No flag. Ball loose up in the air. Not a ground ball. It's more like an air ball. The Gamecocks get it.
Coulter's going to look to push here. Great catch. One more. And a timeout by South Carolina.
Wow. I guess they didn't want him to take a shot there. They wanted to keep the ball. 2:38 to go.
I really like that timeout there by the South Carolina offense. They're looking to keep possession, try and drain some more of this clock out so they can come out of Columbia with a win.
Next game up for each of these two teams is against the East Carolina Pirates. Here in Columbia, as part of a little 3-team mini tournament, the Hokies and Pirates will battle tomorrow afternoon from the fields at the Strom Thurmond Wellness and Fitness Center. A little bit, couple blocks back toward campus. We're here on the southeast side. Meanwhile, the Gamecocks will be right back here at Bluff Road, taking on East Carolina Sunday at 1 o'clock. Quite possible we'll have a broadcast for you of that game, though it most likely will just be an audio call. We will let you know. You can follow us for all CCSN and really all Gamecock varsity sports updates as well on our Capital City Sports Twitter account at CCS on SGTV.
And be careful on this Gamecock possession and look out for them to hold the ball. And as they hold it, if they do not get quality shots on goal, we haven't seen it often, or actually we haven't seen it at all, but the rest still have the opportunity to put a shot clock on if they feel South Carolina is not attacking the goal and making good opportunities.
You can bring up the referees here, Kyron. It's very interesting. We have not seen the flag come out very much at all in the fourth quarter. Have a feeling in a game like this, that's kind of what you like to see.
Oh, exactly. In this fourth quarter, they've been letting them play, and you just see the intensity from the sidelines, the players. It's really coming out on the field, and it's a great game right now, Brett.
South Carolina trying to control this one here as long as they can with 2:38 to go as they put the ball back in play near side, right in front of all the Gamecock students, so there are a few here to our left as well. Certainly the heart of the fans, though, over there. Underway here, John Henneberry in the corner, and then sends it on across.
Interesting development on defense. It looks like they have a short stick back on number 50, Liam O'Donnell. Now, meaning that they're going to double pull the midfield.
A little pump fake there. Sit on down here. Schneider had it for a moment, over to Henneberry, now to Coulter, and on over to the far side to Petrus. 2 minutes to go here in the game. 9-8 South Carolina over Virginia Tech. The Gamecocks with possession and trying to keep it that way.
And here we see it. You see that shot play. Oh, and it's turned over by Coulter right away.
Stolen away. Here comes Virginia Tech moving the other way. Very hustling there is Grope. Comes in. Now feeds it off to Chris Lowe. Lowe up top with 1:41 to go. Hokies have the Gamecocks where they want them right now. But can they get the equalizer? Forced down to his knee and then right back up was Ryan Cleary. He feeds it on over. Who else? Vion Coates at the point. Coates has a pair of goals tonight. He's also been that offensive driver, as we've talked about a number of times. He and Ian Quinn running the point right now as we come up to 1:20 to go. And timeout called by Virginia Tech. Not surprised to see that right now.
Definitely look for Coach Tim O'Brien to draw something up here. They're going to look for an offensive play. As we've seen so far, Coates has been their main driving point on offense. It's been his dodging that opens up this South Carolina defense, and everything seems to operate off him. And as Coates looks to dodge, you're always going to see him kick that ball down to an attackman. That's where most of their goals have come from tonight. Coates is just doing a great job of breaking down this South Carolina defense, and it'll be interesting to see what South Carolina comes out in defensively in that zone or man, because as we saw in the first half, the zone defense worked out phenomenal, and in this second half, man has been the key.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you make there in terms of the way the defenses have changed with success. For a while there, the man was causing some problems for South Carolina. Now it's kind of locked itself back in. But nonetheless, it will be very interesting to see the urgency of the Hokies when they really start crashing the crease here. Or are we going to see another long possession like we saw before where they're just continuing to fire and control from behind?
I'm not even sure what they're going to try and do here, Brett. There's so many options. I don't think they would try and hold for one. I think if they can, they're going to try and get it quick. We saw a stall warning issued very quickly in that last possession on South Carolina. It hasn't necessarily gone with the flow of the game and called with the flow of the game as the refs are supposed to. So look for a stall if Virginia Tech does decide to hold for one last shot here.
That last shot would tie it and send it to overtime. Being a golden goal situation there. Here we go, 1:20 to go. The Hokies up top. It's Ian Quinn with it now. He's looking for his point mate, Vion Coates. Instead decides to take it off to his right side. Hustling over outside the box, taking right back up top. Trying to get a shot up in front, centering pass. It's down on the ground. The Gamecocks try to control it. They do. Little nice pop off right to the goalie, Colin Haynes. The Gamecocks trying to control now with 58 seconds to go.
That's a great effort by Andrew Dalbor to gain possession of that ball. He made the smart play and just tapped it over to his goalie. As we see Coulter avoid a check there.
Now the Gamecocks a little 2-on-1 might have a chance to put this one on ice. Wide open net, and they do. Graham Lorber up in front. The Gamecock fans on the field. The fans celebrating with the players. This game is not over. I'm not sure if that's legal. There's Gatorade bottles flying. And the players now trying to say just stay back off of the field.
They're trying to avoid a penalty here on this Gamecock crowd, but you can feel the excitement and you know why it's there. They had that goalie on the ground, just easy back and forth.
Graham Lorber now, an athletic trainer, hustling over there. Not sure who is the injured Gamecock on their sideline. We wish him well, whoever it is. Well, a wide open net. Graham Lorber, his fourth goal of the night to finish things off here. South Carolina with 42 seconds to go leads at 10-8 on the cusp of a major win against a very good Virginia Tech team.
And what we've seen out of Graham Lorber tonight is exactly what we would expect. He came into this game leading all Gamecock scores with 7 goals. He's now up to 11, and we're expecting such a great finish to this game as the score is 10-8 with 42 seconds left, and we're back at this face-off X where it's been hotly contested all night.
And no, it's certainly not over yet, as Virginia Tech, if they win this faceoff, they'll be hustling forward. A Gamecock faceoff win can pretty much put this game on ice, and they will indeed. Pops up in the air, and it's snagged down, lost though for a moment. Still loose here, everybody fighting for the ball. Now bounces off, it's out of bounds. What's the rule here? South Carolina ball, they say. 24 seconds left. Griffin Giles will have it. Pushed hard there for a moment, now slides off to his left side. 18 to go.
They're going to have to touch it in the box here.
Where do you want him to interview? Here or there?
We're going to have a call for a legal procedure here. Griffin Giles playing without a stick as he had the stick knocked out of his hands.
Well, the Gamecocks aren't going to worry about that too much. Just 5 seconds left here. And now we might see a field storm.
And what a game we've had here in Columbia, South Carolina. The Gamecocks take down number 16, Virginia Tech.
How about this? The Gamecock fans absolutely loving it. A phenomenal and massive win by the South Carolina Gamecocks in the SELC against a ranked opponent, the number 16 Hokies. It says it all right there.
And you can see how much this means to these Gamecock fans and these Gamecock players. Celebrating here, as we said earlier in the broadcast, this South Carolina team got votes to be in the top 25, and you would have to think after a game this exciting up against number 16 Virginia Tech that these Gamecocks will be ranked when those next polls come out.
Got to imagine so. A huge one for sure, and the Gamecocks will try to make it 2 for 2 as they match up with their first divisional opponent in East Carolina this weekend. This is how you start the weekend. Let's see how they end it in a couple of days. Final score tonight, South Carolina 10 and Virginia Tech 8. As everything kind of settles out here on the field, we're going to see if we can get an interview post-game with Graham Lorber, ideally. Has 4 goals to his name tonight. You could really look at a lot of different players as potential players of the game here, Kyron. I mean, you had Colin Haynes showing up in goal. You had Griffin Giles, phenomenal in transition a number of times tonight. Russell Coulter doing a little bit of everything. But Lorber again with those 4 goals and finished things off there at the empty net.
Yeah, exactly there. Graham Lorber has just been absolutely phenomenal today. He did exactly what we expected out of him, which was scoring goals. On the offensive side, he was the man to turn to, and he just always seemed to have the ball in his stick at the right moment. So as we award the CCSN Player of the Game to Graham Lorber, we're going to try and get an interview with him here shortly. Both teams are shaking hands now as the Gamecocks come out and win 10-8.
Handshakes on the field here. We'll get to that interview right after the fact. The fans, a couple of fans from our left side starting to file out, but they may just be joining the throng on the right side, who I think is going to stick around as long as they can. South Carolina now 3-0 on the season, 2-0 in conference play. Virginia Tech falls to 2-1, and all of those games have been in conference. This is the first of 2 teams the Gamecocks will face this season that are currently ranked, the other one being number 9 Boston College. You got to imagine after playing like this against a number 16 team, Gamecocks won't be afraid going against BC.
Absolutely not. The Gamecocks came out intense in the first half. This second half, they started a little bit flat, but after a couple goals by Graham Lorber, they started to find that intensity and success that they had in the first half, and it ends up in a win for these Gamecocks.
Now, they will not have the fans for that game. That will be in the battle for Baltimore. A couple of games the Gamecocks are playing up in Owings Mills, Maryland. The last 6 games, in fact, of this season, the Gamecocks will be on the road. So they'll have to get as much out of the home crowd as they can while they're here, and that's exactly what they did tonight, riding that energy to an all-around solid performance and a win over Virginia Tech.
Absolutely. I don't think either coach is going to be upset. I mean, obviously, Coach Tim O'Brien would have liked to come out of Columbia with a win here up against these Gamecocks, but the effort put on the field by both teams was exactly what we wanted to see tonight. It was intense. It was fast-paced. And now we're going to send this over to...
They're coming on this way. We'll give it just a moment here. And I think they're about... All right. They're going to keep on coming this way. And we're going to just go ahead and hand this over here. Do a little good old-fashioned handoff. Our own Spencer Lee coming over from the other sideline. Graham Lorber, the Gamecocks player of the game here. A little post game here. We're going to pass this one over. Go ahead and take the mic here, Spencer, from me. Here you go.
So we have Grant Lorber here. He scored 4 goals tonight for the Gamecocks in a huge win over Virginia Tech. How does this factor in with motivation for the rest of the season with an early win like this?
Definitely serves as huge motivation for us. I mean, we've been busting our butts out here since the fall, and we've lost Virginia Tech the last couple of years. So this game kind of means a lot, and we were looking for their numbers today. So and we just came out and played.
And Virginia Tech have been known for their goalies and their defense. How did you guys maintain handling that pressure throughout the game?
I think it's the way we practice. We practice really hard 3 times a week. Our coaches are on us constantly, and I think that's the difference between this year's team and previous year's teams. We just work a lot harder than our opponents.
Do you think the zone defense threw them off?
Definitely. I mean, our defense was outstanding today. I mean, they were just clicking on everything. So hopefully we can just keep them playing well, and hopefully we'll be good the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Best of luck the rest of the season. Great game.
Get it! Let's go!
And we're going to hand it back to Brett.
Appreciate it, Spencer, as we bring it back around here. Back here at Bluff, Brett Williams and Kyron Beale here with you as we wrap this thing up here tonight. Again, South Carolina winners 10-8 over Virginia Tech and improved to 3-0 on the season. A signature win here early, just 3 games in. And really, every time Virginia Tech got close in this game, they kept tying it up 6-6, 7-7, 8-8. The Gamecocks ultimately were too strong and kept the lead the entire game.
Absolutely. Those Gamecocks showed great heart out there. They showed the determination. Every time Virginia Tech got close, like you said, the Gamecocks were able to find an extra gear and just push over the edge, and that's what got them this result in the end. And as you heard from Graham Lorber in that last interview, he believes it was the practice, and the intensity you put on the practice field shows up on the game field, and we saw that here tonight, Brett.
Yeah, you could tell the Gamecocks were more than ready for this game. They came out with the energy they needed, and they kept it for 60 minutes. Now, East Carolina comes in 0-2. It is a division game for the Gamecocks, so the first one they really need in that kind of standings. They got to finish in the top 2 of the division to get to the conference tournament. How do you take a win like this and avoid not showing up or thinking that you're going to kind of walk over East Carolina, a team that certainly is not of the caliber of Virginia Tech from what we have seen thus far? How do you come back with that in an afternoon game on Sunday ready to go?
Well, that's going to be on the coaching staff for South Carolina. They're going to have to make sure their players don't get too high-headed. Graham Lorber has said that Virginia Tech has had their number the past couple games, so they came out looking for theirs. And when you get a win like this, it's going to make you excited and everything. So the Gamecocks are going to have to try as hard as possible to stay level-headed and continue to play the way they have.
And they'll have a day to get ready for that. That game coming to you 1 o'clock on Sunday. Again, follow us at CCS on SGTV. We will let you know if, in fact, we were able to broadcast that game. You will be here probably if we get that to happen. Katie Anger, one of ours back at the studio, should be there. I will not be available for that one, but nonetheless, we're going to have some fun throughout this season. We look forward to seeing you whenever we do, in fact, come back to cover some more Gamecocks lacrosse down the stretch. Kyron, been fun working with you tonight for the first time. Looking forward to some more.
Oh, absolutely, Brett. It's been fun out here.
It's going to be a great season for sure. We look forward to seeing what comes of next for the Gamecocks. Again, your final score here tonight, South Carolina 10 and Virginia Tech 8. For all of us on the crew, you've heard from pretty much all of them. Spencer Lee and Jack Taylor flip-flopping on the sideline, and John Dowdy, our executive producer, running everything from behind the scenes as always. For Kyron Beale, good night from Bluff Road. I'm Brett Williams saying Carolina, forever to thee.